So there's no doubt that Aussies are spoiled for choice when it comes to beautiful beaches like this one, long uninterrupted coastlines, great for four-wheel driving. Today's one of those days we get to drive on them. Joining me is Nick from OL Caloundra. Welcome, Nick.
G'day, Cam.
Now, I'm still a bit of a novice when it comes to going on sand, although it is the best part of four-wheel driving as far as I'm concerned. But just getting ready for a trip like this, where do we start? What are the sort of things that we need to bring with the car before we load it onto the ferry?
Things like snatch straps, basic recovery gear like a sand track if you can get some on in your hands,
Yep.
A tyre pressure gauge, a knowledge of weather, tides, basics like that. That way you don't get stuck in a jam and the tide take your car away instead of a tow truck.
Yeah, now I was lucky to drive off the ferry up here. I didn't see any speed signs. So what's the consensus? What's the law? Does it change depending on where you are or what state you're in?
It's more important that you just keep an eye out for speed signs. Usually what happens is each state and territory, they'll put a sign on an entrance to, you come into a campground or anything like that.
Yep.
They'll put a speed sign, usually between 20 and 40 kilometres an hour. Normally on the open sections, it's between 60 and 80, but they'll normally sign that. Any faster, in the middle of the day, you don't pick up them little drops and dips, and you could do you and your car some nasty damage.
You touched on tyre gauges. Let's talk about tyre pressures because tyres are your only contact with the road, hopefully. I'm used to putting more air in my tyres when I'm driving to get better fuel economy. I hear that you drop them down when you go on sand, but actually how low can you go?
When it comes to a full drive tyre, it's not just the tyre type that depends, it's also how soft the sand is and how heavy your car is. So a big heavy Land Cruiser or Nissan Patrol or a full-size four-wheel drive may need a little bit more tyre pressure to get the same bulge because it's so heavy. Whereas a lighter car like a Jeep or a little Jimny or a Suzuki, you can get away with a lower tyre pressure and not pop it off the bead or anything like that. It's more about trying to get the contact patch wide and a little bit longer so that it spreads out over the sand, you don't dig down into it.
Okay, speaking of that, so let's just say I've mashed the throttle like a race driver would, I've got it bogged, we've got the tracks, we've got the shovel. I think we should look at how we actually get the thing out.
Let's go for it.